difficulty falling asleep? Do you wake up occasionally? When you wake up early morning, do you have trouble falling back to sleep? Those might be symptoms of depression. See, there's no blood test to tell if you're depressed. Okay, they just go on symptoms. So now if you have these symptoms of sleep disturbances, everything else, you may be labeled with what? Depression. Okay, so if you're labeled with depression, you're going to get an antidepressant. Now, anybody know how the antidepressants work?
No. They affect the neurotransmitters.
Okay, good. You saw the commercial. Okay, okay. When you no, because what you really do is what they're called is SSRIs, or selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. When you actually look at the mechanism of action, the clinical pharmacology, how the drug actually works, it says mechanism of action is unknown. It's believed to do this. Oh, that's science, right. Okay, so I don't really know how this works, but will you try? No, you don't do that stuff. We're talking science, not crazy stuff. So you have difficulty in sleep. You could be misdiagnosed with depression. You take a drug. Drugs that are used to treat depression actually cause sleep disturbances. Wait a second, sleep disturbances cause depression. Okay, so we're going to take a drug that causes sleep disturbances, but if you have sleep disturbances, that cause depression. Okay, the same pattern here. I know it's crazy because when you start looking at this, the same pattern for symptoms, the same pattern for drug treatment, the same pattern for symptoms, and it all has to do with the idea that disease doesn't actually really exist. It's all adaptation. It's physical, chemical, or emotional stress. So when you start looking at this, fibromyalgia. Here's a patient with fibromyalgia. Now, fibromyalgia is miserable, okay? They have muscle aches and joint pain. Okay, so what do you get for that? Pain medication. We know that analgesics or pain relievers cause lack of sleep. You have muscle relaxants. That's a central nervous system toxin. We know that central nervous system toxins cause sleep problems. If you have sleep problems, what are you given? A sleep medication. We know the sleep medications cause sleep disturbances, interrupt REM state of sleep, and can cause depression. If you have depression, you get what? Antidepressant. We don't really know how those work, but the commercial says SSRI. It's illogical.
Diabolical.
It's diabolical. Exactly. It doesn't make sense. When you start approaching human beings not as little chemical factories that we can keep giving drugs, and hopefully there's going to be a positive outcome, like in fibromyalgia, 9 medications for 6 years. But how about we start approaching human beings with respect and honor, and realizing that, by gosh, everybody in here has skin that's only 28 days old. You're always regenerating every 90 days. You got a new body, just about. Some of your disc bones take about a year, but it doesn't matter how old you are. There's nothing older than a couple of years on your body. So if you approach every human body with that respect, you know it's going to regenerate. So what happens to the incurable disease of fibromyalgia? Within I think it was 2.5, 3 weeks, her symptoms were gone. Within a month, she was drug-free. Within 90 days, she's cured of fibromyalgia. Now, you're supposed to go, wow, that's so cool. Okay. It's not from the Fraud and Deception Association. The Food and Drug Administration shouldn't be doing that. Here's another one out of the Journal of the American Medical Association. Lack of sleep triggers hormone changes. So when was the last time your doctor said, well, I can't really call them doctors. When was the last time you go to a disease management person who's got a white jacket, they checked your hormone levels, found it off, and they said, how are you sleeping? Never. I got to tell you, number one thing when somebody comes into me, and this happens, probably 50 times a day. Doc, I'm really tired. Okay. Guess what the first thing I ask them? How are you sleeping? Exactly. How do you sleep? The lights aren't on in here. Robin, that light's out? Call Huntington Beach Power Company. Or maybe check the switch. You got to go with the most obvious. If you're tired, you might not be getting enough sleep. How do you sleep? Horrible. What can I do for the sleep? What can I do for my energy level? Sleep. Okay. Women need more sleep than men. Okay, what's the result of this? Happy wife, happy life. Okay, get them to sleep healthy. Okay, it works. I just say amen. Okay, blood pressure drugs. When we talk about how to normalize blood pressure. One of the reasons behind it is because the blood pressure drugs interrupt REM state of sleep. But wait a second. Wait, do you see a pattern here? Okay, blood pressure drugs, beta blockers, stop REM state of sleep. What happens when you have lack of sleep? What does that do to blood pressure?
Raises it up, so you'll need your.
Oh my gosh, so if you have high blood pressure, you take the drugs that limit sleep, then, wait, was that the same pattern that we saw with attention deficit disorder? Was that the same pattern with depression? Was that the same pattern with asthma? Was that the same pattern? I'm starting to see something here. Okay, blood pressure problems. Dave, 15 years of high blood pressure. Was he ever asked how he slept, how his body rebuilds itself? Was his body ever gone on to say, wow, let's approach your body with respect? Okay, we know that you've had neck pain because obviously his neck isn't working right. So what did he get? Pain reliever. What happens if you take pain relievers? What does that do to sleep? Interrupt sleep. Okay, if you're interrupting sleep, does that increase pain levels? Yes. Okay, if you interrupt sleep, does that cause an elevation of blood pressure? Yes. Oh my gosh, I see a pattern here. So what we do is we change his nervous system. This is called reversing arthritis. Can arthritis be reversed? Yes. Okay, good. I'm seeing that too. Okay, you reverse arthritis. Well, only 1 in 10 chiropractors does it, but that means there's a lot of chiropractors out there doing it. Okay, so this, within 2 weeks, his blood pressure normalized. Within 30 days, he was off his medications. And guess what he said?
I'm sleeping.
I'm sleeping better. I know. Oh, good. I saw like 4 light bulbs go on. I got it. Wait, almost. Okay, insomnia. This is great. I saw a study out of Glasgow this morning. Okay, insomnia means you have trouble falling asleep. Did you know that most people, if you're an insomniac, you stay hours in bed? But what happens? Think of this. Let's say you're frustrated and scared because every time you go to bed and lay down, you can't sleep. Are you looking forward to going to bed?
No.
No, it's a miserable event. Gosh, I'm going to go. I'm going to lay down. And then you lay down and you start looking at the ceiling tiles. You start counting. Then you roll over this way and you think, I'm not comfortable. And you roll over this way and you're not comfortable. Okay, so then you look at the clock. Oh, God, it's like 12 o'clock. Okay, then you look at 1. God, it was just 12. Geez, I got to get up and fight. Typical insomnia. This goes on hours. Okay, day in, day out. You wake up miserable and exhausted. Here is the cure for insomnia. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Are you ready? I hope those seats have seat belts. You deprive them of sleep.
Reset the clock.
Wait, okay, think about it. The person has trouble sleeping, and we're going to deprive them of sleep. Okay? You'll see on the sheet here, what's the toughest morning of the week to get up? Monday morning. Why? Because you usually change your sleep patterns during the week. So the cure for insomnia is to deprive people of sleep, but have them sleep only 6 hours a night. The only thing that takes place in the bedroom is sleep. Okay, sleep. You don't read, you don't eat in bed, you don't watch TV in bed, you don't do a computer in bed, you don't do anything but sleep in the bedroom. You go in there, you lay down. 6 hours later, you get up. Doesn't matter if you didn't sleep. So you have to be to sleep between 11 and 1. So deep sleep, you're asleep at 11, you get up at 4. Okay, 4 or 5. Okay, and then you do that every night. Within 5 days, your clock begins to reset. You don't take a nap during the day. You don't sleep during the day. If you're tired, you're tired. Okay? Eventually, your body will reset that pattern. It's like hitting the reset button on the computer that doesn't work at my office, okay? And it works every time. It does. It resets it. Because look at this. Insomnia, it affects the whole family.